The Great Dane and the Fila represent two distinct paths in the development of large, powerful canine breeds. The Great Dane, often lauded as the Apollo of dogs, is renowned for its majestic stature, combined with a generally gentle, friendly, and dependable disposition, despite its origins as a formidable boar hunter. In contrast, the Brazilian Mastiff is defined by its intense loyalty and devotion to its family, coupled with a profound instinctual aversion and suspicion towards strangers. The lineage of the Great Dane stretches back millennia, with large Mastiff-type dogs depicted in ancient Egyptian, Greek, and Roman art. These powerful canines were likely brought into Europe through migrations, with evidence of large hounds present in Denmark and surrounding regions by 5th century BC. During the Middle Ages, these large dogs were widely utilized across Europe for hunting formidable game like wild boar and bear, as well as for guarding estates. The breed as recognized today was primarily developed in the Germanic principalities beginning around the 16th century. Nobility imported strong, long-legged dogs from England and Ireland, referred to as English dog, and selectively bred them to enhance their prowess in hunting wild boar. These dogs were known as boarhounds due to this primary function. The most prized specimens became chamber dogs, living closely with the nobles and protecting them even in their bedchambers. As societal needs shifted in the 19th century and large game hunting declined, the breed's purpose evolved towards that of a companion and estate guardian. German breeders continued refinement, focusing on both imposing size and a more tractable temperament. Some influence from English breeders who crossed these dogs with greyhounds contributed to a more elegant and refined appearance. This deliberate move away from the sheer ferocity needed for boar hunting towards a more balanced, albeit still courageous and watchful, temperament suitable for companionship and guarding is a key aspect of the breed's modern character. A formal breed standard was developed by the German Breed Club in 1881. The American Kennel Club recognized the Great Dane in 1887, making its parent club one of the oldest in the U.S. The FCI granted definitive recognition later, formally classifying it as a German breed. The Fila Brasileiro's origins lie in the colonial era of Brazil, likely dating back to the 1600s or 1700s. Developed on large plantations and cattle farms, the breed arose from the functional mixing of dogs brought by European colonizers, primarily the Portuguese. Key ancestral breeds are believed to include Portuguese Mastiffs, Bloodhounds, and old-style Bulldogs. These dogs were not initially bred to a specific aesthetic standard, but for their utility as all-around working dogs in a demanding environment. Their roles were diverse and demanding. They were used extensively for managing cattle, with the name Fila deriving from the Portuguese verb filar, meaning to hold or to seize, reflecting their ability to catch and hold livestock for ranchers. They were also employed to hunt large and dangerous game, including jaguars. Furthermore, their formidable presence and protective nature made them exceptional guardians of property and livestock against predators and human intruders. The Brazilian army also utilized the breed. A significant and controversial aspect of feline history is its use in tracking and capturing escaped slaves during the era of slavery in Brazil. These dogs were trained to track and hold individuals, often until their masters arrive. This historical function, requiring tenacity, courage, and the ability to confront and subdue humans, is inextricably linked to the development of the breed's deep-seated suspicion and potential aggression towards strangers. Unlike the Great Dane's history, which shows a tempering of aggression, the Fila's past involved roles that reinforce protective and potentially confrontational behaviors towards unfamiliar humans. Formal recognition came much later than for the Great Dane. The first written breed standard was formulated in 1946 by Dr. Paulo Santos Cruz, considered the father of the feline breed. International recognition by the FCI followed in 1960. However, the Fila is not recognized by any major North American kennel club like the AKC or UKC. Furthermore, the breed's history includes controversy regarding its purity. Starting in the 1970s, claims arose of widespread crossbreeding within the Brazilian Kennel Club. Registered lines involving English Mastiffs, Neapolitan Mastiff, and Black Great Danes, allegedly to increase the size or introduce colors like black. This led to a schism within the feline community, with organizations promoting standards based on Dr. Santos Cruz's original vision and rejecting dogs perceived as having mixed ancestry. The ongoing debate means that felis bred under the CBKC FCI standard may differ in appearance and potentially temperament from those bred under the original Fila Brasileiro standards, which aim to preserve older, supposedly pure lines. This complexity adds another layer of challenge for those researching or seeking to acquire the breed. While both the Great Dane and the Fila are large, imposing breeds, their breed standards are defined by major kennel clubs like the AKC and the FCI, outline distinct physical characteristics reflecting their different histories and functions. The Great Dane, classified as a giant breed, emphasizes elegance combined with power. The AKC standard specifies a minimum height of 30 inches for males, preferring 32 plus inches, and 28 inches for females, preferring 30 plus inches at the withers. Weights typically range from 140 to 175 pounds for males, 110 to 140 pounds for females. A key characteristic is its square proportions, meaning the body length, point from the sternum to the point of the buttocks, should be equal to the height at the withers, although bitches may be slightly longer. The overall impression is one of balance, muscular fitness, substantial but never clumsy. Strong bone is required, with males appearing more massive than females. The Fila, a large, powerfully built molluster, standard calls for heights of 25.5 to 29.5 inches for males, 23.5 to 27.5 inches for females. Approximate weights are 110 pounds for males and 88 pounds for females, though other sources suggest considerably higher maximums are possible, up to 181 pounds for males and 161 pounds for females. Unlike the Dane's square build, the Fila is distinctly rectangular with body length ideally exceeding the height at the withers by 15% according to the FCI standard. The structure is massive and compact with powerful bone, yet should convey agility. A unique feature is that the croup is higher than the withers. On the Great Dane, the head is a hallmark, described as rectangular, long, distinguished, and finely chiseled. The plane of the skull and the muzzle must be parallel, separated by a strongly pronounced stop. The muzzle is deep and square, ideally equal in length to the skull. Eyes are medium-sized, almond-shaped, deep-set, and preferably dark, conveying an intelligent expression. Ears are set high, medium in size, and fold forward close to the cheek, or may be cropped and stand erect. A scissor bite is preferred. On the Fila, the head is large, heavy, and massive, proportionate to the body. Viewed from above, it resembles a trapezoid or pear shape. The skull profile is a smooth curve, and the top is only slightly pronounced. The muzzle is strong, broad, deep, and slightly shorter than the skull. The upper lips are thick and pendulous, overlapping the lower lip and forming a characteristic inverted U. Eyes are medium to large, almond-shaped, ranging from dark brown to yellow, often with drooping lower eyelids contributing to a melancholic expression. Ears are large, thick, V-shaped, and pendant, set back on the skull. A scissor bite is ideal, but a level bite is acceptable. The bloodhound influence is often evident in the dewlap and the flews. The Great Dane's top line features withers higher than the back, sloping smoothly into a short, level back and broad loin. The chest is broad and deep, reaching the elbows with well-sprung ribs. The underline is tightly muscled with a distinct tuck-up. The tail is set high, broad at the base, tapering to the hawk joint. It carries straight down at rest, or slightly curved when moving. Skin is generally tight-fitting. The Fila Brasileiro defining characteristic is the top line, where the croup is higher than the withers, with the line ascending smoothly from behind the withers to the croup. The back is strong and the loin is shorter and distinct from the deep, broad thorax. The breed is known for its thick, loose skin covering the entire body, most prominently forming dewlaps at the throat-neck area. The tail is thick at the root, tapering and reaching the hock. Color variations in coat on the Great Dane. The coat is short, thick, close line, and glossy. The AKC recognizes 7 colors: brindle, fawn, blue, black, harlequin, mantle, and merle. The coat on the Fila is short, smooth, dense, and close to the body. FCI permitted colors are brindle, fawn, and black. A black mask is optional. White markings are permissible only on the feet, chest, and tip of the tails. White elsewhere is a fault. The Great Dane's movement should be powerful yet effortless, characterized by long, easy strides and a smooth, rhythmic trot that covers maximum ground. The back line remains level and firm. The feet converge towards a center line for balance as speed increases. The feline's characteristic gait is the camel's pace, a 2-beat lateral gait where the legs on the same side move together, causing a rolling or rocking motion. When walking, the head is carried lower than the back line. The trot is described as smooth, free, and long-strided, and the gallop is powerful and surprisingly fast for its size. These physical differences are not merely aesthetic. They reflect the breed's distinct functional histories and genetic backgrounds. The Dane's square, elegant build and smooth trot align with its transition towards a noble guardian and companion, while the feline's massive rectangular frame, higher croup, looser skin, and unique pace are indicative of its massive bloodhound heritage and its demanding roles in tracking, holding, and guarding in rugged terrain. There are no special considerations when it comes to owning a Great Dane beyond the standard considerations one should take in owning an extremely large dog breed and grooming an extremely large dog breed. When it comes to the Fila, the breed's characteristic thick, loose skin, particularly the prominent wrinkles and folds around the head and neck area, require specific attention. These folds must be cleaned meticulously and regularly, and dried thoroughly to prevent the buildup of moisture, dirt, and bacteria, which can lead to foul odors, skin irritation, and infections. The common drooping lower eyelids also require monitoring for irritation and infection. The temperament of the Great Dane and the Fila stand in stark contrast, shaped by their divergent histories and breeding objectives. The Great Dane is widely celebrated for its majestic yet gentle nature, earning it the moniker of the Apollo of dogs. Breed standards and fanciers emphasize a combination of dignity, strength, and elegance with an easygoing, joyful, and friendly temperament. They are expected to be spirited, courageous, and dependable. The AKC standard requires a dog that is approachable, quietly confident, while explicitly stating that timidity, nervousness, or lack of confidence are serious faults. Great Danes are known for being highly affectionate and loyal towards their families. They form strong bonds and enjoy being close to their people. They possess natural guarding instincts and serve as dependable watchdogs. The AKC standard acknowledges their capacity as a companion, watchdog, or guardian. Their protective nature is generally discerning rather than indiscriminately aggressive. Great Danes are intelligent dogs and generally eager to please, making them trainable. They respond well to consistent positive reinforcement methods. While they can occasionally exhibit stubbornness, their overall trainability is considered good, especially given their working group heritage. The Fila is one of the breeds most frequently targeted by breed-specific legislation. Its reputation, rooted in its historical uses and its inherent trait of strong aversion to strangers, has led numerous countries and municipalities to deem it dangerous and enact restrictions or outright bans on its ownership, importation, and breeding. The Fila's temperament is defined by courage, determination, and outstanding bravery. Within their family circle and territory, they display a calm disposition, self-assurance, and self-confidence. They are typically unperturbed by strange noises or non-threatening circumstances within their familiar environment. However, the defining characteristic towards the outside world, they can appear serious and reserved, and the breed is often described as having a difficult or challenging temperament. Loyalty to their owner and family is described as proverbial and extreme. They are docile, obedient, and exceptionally tolerant with their own family members, including children. They actively seek the company of their master. Filas are intelligent dogs, however, their intelligence is coupled with a strong independence and stubbornness, making training notably challenging. They require a highly experienced, confident, firm, and consistent owner who can establish clear leadership without resorting to harshness or cruelty, as Filas do not respond well to force. Positive reinforcement is necessary, but motivating this independent breed can be difficult. Both the Great Dane and the Fila are large to giant dog breeds and are predisposed to certain health conditions. Great Danes commonly face these health issues: bloat, dilated cardiomyopathy, hip and elbow dysplasia, wobbler syndrome, bone cancer, hypothyroidism, various eye conditions, Addison's disease, and happy tail syndrome. Common health concerns for the Fila are hip and elbow dysplasia, bloat, skin issues, eye issues, osteochondritis dissecans, and other potential issues include growing pains, luxating patellas, and cancer are also mentioned as potential concerns. The average lifespan for the Great Dane is roughly 8 to 10 years, and for the Fila is 9 to 11 years. The divergent historical paths: the Great Dane's evolution from fierce hunter to noble companion, and the Fila's development as a multi-purpose guardian shaped by harsh realities including slave tracking, provide critical context for understanding the profound differences in their modern temperaments and suitability. This fundamental difference in temperament dictates vastly different requirements for ownership, training, socialization, and management. While both breeds are large and require knowledgeable handling, the Great Dane is often considered a more adaptable family companion, capable of forming bonds outside the immediate family unit with proper socialization. The Fila, shaped by a history of intense guarding and tracking duties, including controversial tracking of escaped slaves, demands an exceptionally experienced owner capable of managing its powerful protective instincts and inherent distrust of unfamiliar individuals. All right, guys, we just laid out the facts on two amazing breeds. Neither is an easy dog to own. If you want to take on that responsibility, please let this be the starting point for you to do a lot more research, because both of these breeds are incredible and they both are incredible responsibilities. All right, guys, this is Zeke. This is Dogumentary. Peace.